Alright everybody, who's ready to beat everyone's favorite dead horse? I seriously can't believe it's been almost 3 years since Halo Infinite's release, and I recently went through and did a video about the multiplayer and where the state that's in these days. Spoiler alert, it's pretty meh, but that got me to thinking. I know we all had our opinions about the campaign when it came out, maybe we were just looking at it through a different lens due to being just so excited about a new Halo game after 6 years. So today I wanted to take a look at Halo Infinite's campaign to see if time has changed any opinions, or to see what, if anything, might have gotten better.
Oh, I know what the ladies like.
Alright, so it's been almost 3 years since the release. What are the big changes? Any expansions? Quality of life fixes? Well, not much has really changed to be honest. The only big difference is the addition of online co-op play. Remember when 343 came out and said after the clusterfuck of a response Halo 5 got for not having split screen co-op, and said, yeah guys, don't worry, it'll be in the next game, sorry, we know, we fucked up.
So that was a lie.
Well, the game launched without split screen co-op and they said, oops, our bad, we're still working on it, don't worry, we got you. And then finally, after the online co-op was added, it was just, whoops, sorry, we fucked up, can't do co-op split screen, our bad. Well yeah, I mean that's just pretty lame. I mean, they added online co-op, which I guess is fine, but they added it so far after the initial release, I highly doubt even a fraction of the players come back just to experience the campaign again with a buddy or something. But other than co-op, did they add anything else? Not really. The new weapons and equipment they added to the multiplayer sandbox suspiciously never made their way into campaign, which isn't surprising, because I feel like it would probably just break the existing game. But what about those campaign expansions? Any DLC missions, or anything that adds something new to the game? Well, those have all pretty much been cancelled from what I could find, so if you wanted anything else new to do in this campaign, you can pretty much just go fuck yourself and play the multiplayer. Oh, and buy a $20 skin while you're at it. Fuck you.
You can't keep getting away with it!
Oh shit, I forgot. They did add the ability to replay main story missions after completing them, because why in the ever-loving god would that not be in the game at launch?
What?
You miss a skull on a level and you want to go back and collect it? Well, I hope you got another save slot, because at launch, you couldn't just go back and replay shit without having to start a new game. It was so fucking stupid, I swear to God. So we have established that they didn't really do much in terms of adding additional content to do in the campaign after the initial release. They had to use all available resources to be able to work on overpriced cosmetics for multiplayer, so might as well just take a look at the gameplay itself. Halo Infinite was supposed to be a soft reboot of the franchise, and was supposed to kick off the next 10 years of the Halo storyline and games. So the story of the game kinda just ignores a lot of whatever came before to focus on a new story set on this new Halo ring. There are many plot elements and loose threads from Halo 5 that would have made it relatively difficult to tie into this new game, so they just focused on the story they wanted to tell, which I can commend them for doing. What happened to the Prometheans or Spartan Locke? Well, who cares, we got Master Chief on a Halo ring. What else more could people possibly want? That's probably what they thought when making this game, and the answer to that is a lot apparently. So if you've watched any of my previous Halo videos, you'll know my stance on the base gameplay of Halo Infinite. I generally like how all the guns and movement feel, so that all translates relatively well to the campaign. But do you know what really doesn't do a good job of translating? This open world design. I would say that my biggest complaints from the game's campaign aren't from the story or the base gameplay itself, it stems from the decision to go open world and the mission structure. Now don't get me wrong, I think if done right, an open world Halo game could be totally awesome. However, to be able to achieve something like that, I think that the open world would have to be diverse, interesting, and have things to do worth exploring.
You serious?
The open world design in Infinite to me feels like a wasted opportunity. The overall design of the open world map itself is okay, and definitely gives off some Halo Combat Evolved vibes, but after about 20 minutes grappling around the map, there isn't really a whole lot interesting to do. Yes, there's little outposts and bases, while that's fine and pretty standard, these are pretty much just fucking Ubisoft copy and paste open world clutter time wasting tasks. They aren't really anything special. It's mostly just the scenery that gets old. The Bungie Halo games are known for their iconic scenery and levels and different types of environments that make individual levels iconic.
It's enough to make a grown man cry.
The open world of Halo Infinite, despite having stuff to do and enemies to kill, still feels lifeless due to barely any variety in the environment. Like I said before, an open world Halo campaign could totally work, but I think to really make it a worthwhile open world, there needs to be more variety in the types of environments to explore. I think if the game had different biomes in different parts of the map, it would have been a cooler map to explore and to do things. Like, they could have had a snowy area on the mountains, a desert area, swampland, or maybe even like an abandoned, banished industrial area. Like, give us some more shit to see besides trees and grass and dirt and shit.
That would be dirt.
The early entries in the Halo franchise are known for their stellar performances, unique art style, and memorable levels. So that begs the question, just what in the actual fuck happened to the level design in this game. I'm going to do a very basic 3-part rundown of the types of missions you'll have at your fingertips. First off, you have your first and second to last levels of the game, which I would say are the most visually unique that you will run into during your playtime, and I use the word unique very loosely. Next, you have your open world levels, and then finally, you have your cut and paste cookie cutter Forerunner corridor levels.
But there's something you need to know. Stuff like that? That's a load of crap. That's a load of crap.
So the very first and second to last levels of the game, I would say are probably technically the most different / unique levels you will play throughout the whole campaign. The first level being on a banished ship and the second to last level taking place on the main banished base. Now these are still very similar because they're indoors corridor type missions where you just fight your way from room to room until it's over. However, I put these in their own category because the first level of the game is the only one that you'll play that's not on the Halo ring itself, and the banished base you infiltrate to get your pilot back is at least pretty cool because of these little UNSC training areas. Next up, you have your open world missions. Honestly, man, I really don't have much to say about these. They're just missions where you drop off somewhere on the map and you gotta shut off a drill or destroy 3 towers or something like that. I would say they aren't boring, but the fact that most of the areas on the map have very little defining characteristics in terms of their set pieces, it really just feels like you're playing one long mission, just in different parts of the map. Imagine if you took the level Halo from Combat Evolved and increased the size of the map from the level, and then added 2 hours worth of objectives to complete. Lastly, we have my least favorite and probably the lowest effort levels in the game, which would be the underground Forerunner structures of fun and friendship. Could you tell from this footage what level of the game I'm playing? How about this one? Alright guys, this is an easy one. I'm 100% sure you can guess what level this is from. How about this level? Well, joke's on all of us. They're all from the exact same level. Actually, wait, shit. Sorry, I got my footage mixed up. This is what happens when you don't label your OBS files. Actually, no, wait, yeah, never mind. No, it's actually all still the same level. But I mean, come on, seriously, you're telling me that like half of the missions in the campaign are these stupid ass sections where I grapple hop my way through as fast as possible? It feels lazy and boring. But oh look, hey, they put some bosses in here to mix it up.
Why are you gay?
Who says I'm gay?
You are gay.
Bosses were another one of those fine additions to this campaign, and to be honest, Halo isn't really one of those games where boss fights have been super common in previous entries. And in Infinite, they're just kind of bullet spongy enemies that are more of an annoyance rather than a challenge. That is, unless you're playing on Legendary or Lasso. Also, like, what the fuck, y'all are really just gonna reuse the same boss a couple of times? That's just like, fuck dude, I hate that I keep saying it, but it just seems lazy. I'm by no means a game developer, and I'm not sure the exact workings and science that go into making a video game, but as a consumer, perception is the key when trying to win over an audience. I know that it might not exactly be laziness on the developer's parts, but reusing bosses and basically copying and pasting these Forerunner hallway simulators leaves a lot to be desired. Honestly, it kind of felt like 343 spent most of the development time creating this open world and then just kind of throwing in the towel at halftime saying, well, we're giving them an open world Halo finally. What do you mean we actually have to put anything interesting to do in our game?
We don't care.
Let me tell you. We don't care.
Overall, I wouldn't say I hate Infinite's campaign. Like, I see the blueprint for something that could have been good, but it was just kind of fumbled along the way. But all these criticisms aside, how would I make the game better? Well, I'm glad that I asked. First off, I would scrap 99% of these stupid fucking hallway missions and replace them with missions that are a bit of a change of scenery. I know this whole game is set on the Halo ring, but you are able to get into a Pelican. You have access to one. It's part of the story. So instead of these missions taking place in the fucking basement of the Halo ring, take us to secluded linear areas outside the open world for that classic Halo feel. Maybe have some interesting set pieces or something to break up the monotony. The fact I can't look at gameplay for a level and immediately tell you the name of that level just means it's pretty boring game design. I could look at gameplay for the Bungie games and tell you the name of the level where it was, no matter what game it was from, because they were all so unique and memorable. That is aside from some of those Halo Combat Evolved levels they just kind of reused, but I'll give them a pass because that was like their first game in the franchise and that shit was like 20 years ago. Also, like I mentioned before, I would redo areas of the open world to differentiate areas of the map. Like think of Minecraft with their biomes. If they would have done that with the surface of the Halo ring, like a snowy biome, desert biome, shit, it would be like a breath of fresh air accessing different areas of the map. I feel like if they were able to make changes to the map to create interesting areas to go and replace the basement dweller missions with classic Halo experiences, I feel like this campaign could have been well regarded and could have even stacked up close to the Bungie games, which has yet to really happen under the reign of 343 Industries. I like the art style and feel of the controls. The banished enemies are great compared to the less than thrilling Prometheans from Halo 4 and 5. It's just the game kind of feels hollow overall. And this is coming from a guy so starved for Halo single player content that I've beat this stupid ass campaign like 6 or 7 times over the course of the last 3 years.
But why?
Also, side note, because I wasn't really sure where to fit this in the video, I want to mention the vehicles and traversal of the open world. I'm sure this isn't a hot take, but there's not a single fucking vehicle that feels like a truly better option to get from point A to point B on the map compared to just grapple hopping and flying across the map like a lunatic. I'm not sure how to fix this. It might just be the design of the map itself, but it just kind of feels sad that in an open world Halo game, I just don't really have that itch to hop in a vehicle anywhere because using the grappling hook is just 100% more effective. God, I feel so exhausted though complaining. I love Halo and I just wish we can get a good game like the old days, but who am I fucking kidding? Who knows when/if that'll ever happen. But what do you think? Did you like or even play the campaign? What changes would you make, or what would you like to see for a potential sequel? I think that's pretty much gonna be it for me today. Leave a comment letting me know what you think, or just tell me to go kill myself because my opinion's trash. Like the video if you enjoyed it, feel free to subscribe, it definitely helps with the ego, but until next time, I'm out.
Spend this holiday locked in. My body got rid of them toxins. Sports in the top 10. I could put the ball in the